everyone. Welcome back to the Anata pod. You have David and I on here again. Today we're going to be talking about AI and Shopify. So let's get right into it. David, why is Shopify agentic? Or maybe you can just kind of discuss what's going on in Shopify. But I just want to ask, why is this such a big update for operators?
I think the biggest reason, and most people are going to think like very top layer. Well, I could change a product image on my Shopify page, or I could write a description. It could do the same things that I was doing in ChatGPT, just I don't have to copy and paste it into my Shopify store. That's all great. I think where the best part of these updates this summer on Shopify is the underlying SEO updates. That's no longer just Google SEO, it's agentic SEO, basically. It's allowing your consumers to search for your product on new search platforms like Claude, GPT, Gemini, etc. And I think that's going to be where, for the most part, a lot of these new updates have been going. There was a big event. I was out of town, but the big topic was, is SEO dead? And you always just think SEO is your meta description and your tags and making sure that those are all updated. It's not dead. It's, if anything, it's the most important thing ever, because it's just become more complicated through AI, where people are searching on instead of just your normal search algorithm. We kind of have to change the definition a little bit in our heads and change how we've been operating our SEO, day-to-day tasks to be more on the AI side, which Shopify is doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like with AI assistants like ChatGPT or Copilot, is SEO, is that how they like rank products?
Yeah, it's how they find you more than rank. So SERP, your search results page, search engine results page, like and we're huge on Amazon, right? So the same thing on Amazon, and Amazon got rid of, we haven't even talked about that, but they got rid of Rufus. The Rufus was their AI agent. Now that's just the Amazon AI. But they were basically is, there's no longer like a ranking here. It's going to be dependent so much. The way that I think about this is like, I run Facebook ads and I run Google ads. Like, those are the two ads. What is the biggest difference between those two ads? Well, it's the targeting type. Facebook, I can target based on interests, and Google, I can target based on keyword, right? Amazon is keyword for the most part. And so AI search is going to be interests, but interest based on everything else that AI knows about that consumer. What else is that consumer searching for? What are they interested in? Are they male or female? They're looking at other things, and it's going to provide them the results that they think is going to be best for them, which is even crazier. It's like asking your best friend, hey, give me a list of 5 of these products, and your friend just knows who you are. You're not going to like these ones, even though it might be the #1 seller that ranked #1 on SERP. It knows your interest, so it's going to provide you the best result based on what your friend thinks you would need. Like, it's going to be a whole different game. So it's not going to be the best result, but your friend needs to know about your product, your goods, your web services, your page, etc. And that's what we need to be. We need to get in front of like the friend. Is it easy for your friend to identify, is this good for you or not? Right. And so that's who we're appealing to now versus Google or just your normal Facebook, right? Based on what you've been doing on Facebook. So hope that makes sense, but that's kind of like the future of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I remember you conducted like a search for one of our clients, Ocean RX, Blue Spirulina. But when you conducted that research, is it different now? Like, do you think it'd be easier to find them now?
Yeah, now since we've done that initially, it'll be easier to find them. But the biggest difference is like the process of how I had to go and do that, which was really simple, is just gotten easier, right? So it's like, oh, I'm not being found. Why am I not being found? Let's make that change. Shopify, what they just released is let's just make you get found immediately, right? Here's all of the things that you need to do. And so it's all about signaling and signaling in the right way and just making it easier. And we're having the same discussion that we did 15, 20 years ago in SEO, just now it's for AI.
Yeah. Maybe this is a question for people that are looking to get into the e-commerce space. But David, like across the brands that we operate, what do you think are some of like the categories that you're seeing or that we're seeing are like the strongest for like AI shopping traffic right now?
And I think it's pretty much equivalent to the categories that are already like moving the needle or the largest categories in the e-commerce space. I don't think that it's going to be drastically different. Now it's the people who trust AI more often. Like my wife is like, I don't use AI, I still use Google. And then I'm looking over what she's Googling. We just went on this trip, right? And she's Googling an itinerary. If we did all these things, I look over, she's having straight on conversations with Gemini and not even thinking that she's using AI. She's not against AI. She's like, oh, AI is overwhelming. It's big. It's scary still. And next minute, she is using it. It's just Google, but Gemini. And so I think that's kind of funny. It's like, it doesn't really change. It's just going to be inevitable to use, if that makes sense. I hope that answers the question, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess like the next step, um, again, for people trying to get in the e-commerce space, what is like the biggest mistakes that like brands are making for like their product pages or their like structured data? Like what are some of those mistakes and how can you avoid those?
And not not adapting to AI. Like the biggest mistake is one, maybe okay, two things. I'm gonna go on either side of the spectrum here. Is one is like not moving forward with AI, thinking that AI is not going to do it, staying in your own like little move. And then on the other side of that spectrum is trusting it too much. Like, oh yeah, AI did it, I can walk away from it, right? So there's two ends of the spectrum there, and inevitably they're the same result. Trusting it too much and not trusting it at all results in almost the same thing. So like we have sellers who are 100% against it, right? They don't want the data out there. They don't want, they don't think their users are utilizing it. Well, I just showed you that yes, all users are still using it. They just don't know it yet. So if you took a survey, do you use AI? Those who are on Google probably would say no. But yeah, they are using AI. They just don't want you to think that you're using AI. And so, and then the other end of that spectrum, you trust it too much. And then, honestly, I fall into that boat as we're like trying to do it super quickly. And I'm like, oh, I got to go back because this is all wrong. That's a huge thing too. So these brand owners still need to monitor their AI, need to trust it still, but need to monitor it at the same time. Making sure that all of their detail pages are following consistent flows, that they're still trying to optimize for Google search, right? Because Google, though it's different, they still might prioritize that. Who knows? It's moving so fast. You never know which direction they're going to go down.
Yeah. All right. A couple last discussion points for you, David, and thank you again. Um, I was just going to ask, do you think this eventually becomes a paid channel?
Oof, that's a great one. Well, elaborate a little bit on the question because it can go in
Well,
different directions.
yeah, maybe we can, but it just seems pretty interesting. Like I was just thinking when you brought up like SEO, um, like does AI assistant like just kind of replace that? Like, and I was just kind of thinking in like an e-commerce standpoint of I don't know, because we always talk about like pay channels and like getting into like other e-commerce spaces, and I'm just it's super curious, or it just throws my curiosity on like AI just moves so fast in itself already. Like I don't know, it's just I don't know how to articulate what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say, but it's so interesting for sure.
it's so interesting. Yeah, you're 100% right. It's very interesting because you ride the line, like this ethical line almost, like Google. Yeah, you can have paid ads on Google, you have paid ads on Facebook, but when you're delving into personal data that much, how do we get that data and put a sponsored by Amazon product on that feed?
Right.
Um, based like I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think they will do it. If that makes sense. Like the amount of money these guys are producing and also losing trying to build the infrastructure here on AI, they will want to try and like prioritize the revenue flow somehow. And at the end of the road, it all comes down to paid ads, right? Advertising usually is the key factor that moves the needle to how they're going to optimize revenue for these huge companies. Now, right now, they're not going to do that. It's moving so fast. How as soon as they build the infrastructure for advertising, it's already old by the time that rolls out. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, I do. I think they're going to try and figure out a revenue stream off of AI search for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now last discussion point. Like what happens if brands ignore this for another year? And let's say, and that's just kind of like a warning, like, hey, if you ignore this, this is what's going to happen. But then can you give your lists of like what should an operator do this week to not catch up, but just start it?
Um, if brands ignore this for another year, just might as well start your business for another year because you're missing out. The biggest reason why, even if you don't have like you're scared to start right now, I would start just to get a head start on all the infrastructure. In the office, we kind of talk about this like, oh, I like no one wants to be a developer these days. It's stupid. And I kind of counter that in a way where I'm like, I'd actually would love to go take a basic developing class just to utilize AI in a minor in and eventually all like a minor in like AI communications development skills, right? Because because I waste so many tokens, I wish I knew how, and the way I tasked you on doing this, right? To create a tool for Anata so that we, one, can all internally use it, offset more software costs, learn how to use AI. It's like checking off all the boxes, and I suggest everybody to do this. And we tasked you to do that, and it turned out great, right? But imagine if you already knew how to code, knew how the basic infrastructure of your code base needs to be set up in and all of these things, well, then it would have moved like probably 3 times faster than normal. And so because like of this, I would say start now just for that education of how this is going. Because the worst part is like, oh, I missed out on the last 5 years of AI and how it evolved is super important and like where it is now. And you already have that history. You kind of see the direction that it's moving in and starting right now. And so I would say if you don't start now, a year from now, it's a new business anyways. Like you're gonna have to re-educate yourself on everything. Start now and ride that wave. I don't see it slowing down the way that data centers are, the new Anthropic and SpaceX collaboration with the new data center, it doubled their capacity. Like, thank goodness, because Anthropic's always down, I feel like, at 1 o'clock every day because there's so much usage. So it doesn't really matter, but the list of things here is like jump on. If in the e-commerce space, a little bit harder to do, implement AI in certain processes, like how you're developing new searches, how you're auditing it, how you're using co-work, how you're using co-work schedule, all of these different things. And like being in that Nata building, we have a few brands here, how they utilize AI for their affiliate programs and tracking and emailing and contracts. It was like mind blown looking at what they've been building out, utilizing AI as a brand owner, thinking, wow, I wasn't even thinking about it in that way, but other people are. So just start using it, figure out how to do it. And it's hard. I mean, for you, is it hard when we tasked you to build that app, like how you used to use AI versus now?
Yeah, it kind of seems stressful. Like it was new for me. And so it was a little stressful at the beginning, but like once you start getting into it, like it's pretty fluid. It's pretty seamless. It's pretty easy. And it's like I think this is what this entire episode comes down to is just this is like an important operator decision. Like, get this done. But it was stressful at the beginning, but yeah, 5 minutes into it, easy, super easy.
Right. Yeah. And then afterwards, you're probably thinking, like, well, will use this tool,
Yep.
right? Well, we use that tool every day, and we own it. It's ours.
Yep.
You know, you vibe coded it, and you got it done, and like that's super cool. Now, imagine all of the little things that we could do that we spend time and energy and money on that we can now offset through AI. Like it's kind of surreal. So many things.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, that was kind of it, David. That's all the discussion points I had. I mean, again, kind of like what I was saying is this is pretty important decision. Like, understand for our listeners out there, understand that the AI shopping channel, it's huge, it's big right now, and it's killing it. And yeah, I mean, David, do you have any like closing points?
I think we kind of nailed it all. Like everybody should jump on the AI train. One thing that we're going to try and implement for our clients is like talking AI with their brands. And so I would highly suggest jumping on like a brainstorm call with Anata, how we're utilizing AI across Shopify, Amazon, design work, some of our flows as well, from customer service implementation. Like that's a huge one, to operationally figuring out your inventory forecasting. There's so many things you should definitely be jumping into. What's your current flow? And that's all AI is a workflow. Whatever you're doing, AI most likely can take a lot of those steps out, have you review it, right? And then we just iterate. The best way that I could say that AI is implemented is AI is a $200 a month employee that you still have to train, that you still have to go through your workflows with, and then go and audit those workflows with as well, right? Imagine you just hired somebody virtually and you're putting them through this workflow. You're basically just training them on that same workflow, and hopefully they're educating themselves as well, developing a context of what your best work strategy is, workflow is, and going through it. So just think about it that way. Schedule a call with one of us, and let's talk AI. But yeah, that's it on my end. We'll catch you guys on the next one.